and welcome. I'm your host. Welcome to the circus. I'm your host, Phoenix Electorate. We've made it to another Sunday. Somehow, some way, somewhere, it has happened. Everybody went outside. Prairie Fruiters was there for a hot minute. Now the boys have dirty feet walking all over my sewing, and they think it's time for snacks. In true Phoenix fashion, I am overambitious with what I think we might be able to accomplish this afternoon during our time together, but we'll see what happens. Maybe miracles will happen. We'll see. It should be fun. Well, they're not going to get snacks unless they get a little bit closer. I have two quick things. Gee. I have a couple of quick things to work on. We'll review setting in a zipper because we haven't done that in it's been a hot minute, so I'll show my favorite way to do it. We have a little top. There's all sorts of stuff to stitch. So make sure you've got something to drink. I've got bubbly spiced chai. I have snack if you need it. I don't like to eat when I'm sewing because I like my fingers to be clean. Boys are insisting that they get a stop at the concession stand, so let's make that happen for them. All right. Do boys want snacks or do boys want to be silly? Where's my boys at? Meow. Come on, Loki. Hello, Freya Frippers. Meow, meow, meow. Oh. Let's see if we can get little man. Loki. Come on. Those are not for you. Come here. Get over here. Oh, chaos at the zoo. All the circus animals are misbehaving. Loki. Get over here. Come here. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Oh. All right, cats have to do tricks for treats because nobody eats for free at the circus. We're just gonna do their fair share. You know, it's super cold, so I've got loungy pants with my quilted corset, quilted stays, bodies. I don't know what it is. And my brain keeps going back and being tortured by that corded stays, that first mock-up. And I made that pattern twice already, and it doesn't look. I flubbed up every time I've done that thing. I must have. Something's not right with it. Where should we get started? We just finish this little top. We'll see what happens, then we'll do our little zipper tutorial. Then we have details insertion lace for this blue set of blue bloomers and a little chemisette. So let me put the snacks away, figure out what we're doing with the camera, and let's get started, where we try to keep you in stitches. Let me see, and I have a head mostly. Ooh, we are getting different. Oh my god, this looks like I'm at like 5,000 pounds, but got a wool layer. I got just wearing lots of layers because I'm really cold. So, ugh. I don't like this shape on this camera and me on shape is something for me to be desired, but it's all an illusion. Alright, so let me get you caught up with where we are. And I should really show these off next week, but I took the samplers from the new water-soluble stabilizer and melted them off last night. Here's what we have. They're kind of little crispy critters. Oh, I'm going to hold it to the camera, and it's marginally see-through. And natural light is a blessing and a curse. But I'll take it. Alright, this really makes me need to make sure we sit up straight. Alright. We'll talk about how I feel about the texture of that stuff coming up on Saturday, because that was something. There's the zip. There's the skirt. Where is... So, I have one zip. I added the waistband for the skirt and threw in a couple of pleats to nip it in a little bit. Added some elastic. So technically, like, it doesn't really need a zipper, but I thought it would be fun. And we haven't done one in a hot minute. Where's the piece I was going to work on first? Hey, Allie! Welcome, welcome! There we go. We're a hot mess. I should put a presser foot on, shouldn't I? Oh, boys, who got dirt all over the sewing machine from being outside? Loki, I'm looking at you, dude. Ow. Oh, you were here yesterday, told Kitty to right, and then fell asleep. Oh, hey, Etienne, welcome, welcome. Oh, I just cut myself on the needle. That's well. I'm glad I gave you some good background sleeping music. Or sounds to sleep too. That's fine. So you must have had a good 2-hour nap. Oh man, trouble to the right of me, trouble to the left of me. Here we are. So in attempts to work on my... Oh, don't bleed on my project. A cute little tube top that I am going to sew some straps on, just for... in attempts to prevent wardrobe malfunctions. And then we'll set it in the zipper. Oh, that's right. I actually lined something, so I'm like front and back out on my app. Oh, Etienne, isn't it too early for hurting yourself? Yeah, it should be. Almost make it 30 minutes. I know. We didn't. We're starting off super good today. So what are we gonna do? I think we're gonna... Let's see here. Oh, Allie, oh no, you were having nightmares. Not worthy of my embroidery, and Mr. Singer came back as a zombie from the grave to get me. Oh no. Oh man. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, every time I go to read from that book, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like I meet the old-fashioned expectations. Oh no, it was horrible. He was goofy and making messes in my sewing room. Oh, that sounds awful on every level. Oh no. That, yeah, I can't think of any, that's up there with absolutely horrific. I'm just moving the placement of the safety pins because I've got the elastic that's going to be at the top and the bottom, and then we'll slip in these straps. If I had thought ahead, probably would have attached the straps when I was sewing it together initially. Yeah. Oh, really? So I was sort of asleep when that happens. Yeah. Oh. That that is an impressive nightmare. You know what else will give us nightmares about our sewing skills is when I read a couple of those sections from the book The Cult of the Needle. That lady is ruthless. Oh man, I'm kind of here for it. Oh, so, yeah, he was sort of mad at me. Oh, how could Mr. Singer be mad at you? Are you not sewing enough? Is he upset that your mom hasn't decided on the fabric for those curtains yet? But my siblings' aprons finally made it to the post. Are they going to make it by when I hope that will be? I don't know yet. I forgot to check the packing slip. And today, so far, I don't have the squeak. Somehow that squeak is worse when I don't have a presser foot on and I'm doing more of the embroidery stuff. I don't know. I'm confused. But oh, it's okay. Oh my gosh, it's too early. I don't need to be yawning yet. Like getting ready, loafing for a second before the show, and I was like, oh, do I want to take a nap? Like, oh no, you only have 20 minutes. You'll be even more grouchy. Oh, you were ruining his legacy, spreading rumors about him and spying on his company and other things too. Wow, those emails about him that you saw must have been pretty. Mr. Singer must have quite a bit of dirt in that closet. Does he have thread bunnies hiding in that closet? Delicious. Here's my trimmers. And we've already started the dropsies. We are crushing it at sewing. Yeah, so yesterday I actually did two shows. I did my show, and then I was on the Dara Squared show, Daramuth, over on the tubes and the rumbles, with a number of other chaps discussing the good things and compliments and constructive critiques of the rumbles, which is quite fun. And I realized as I was there, I was like talking super fast when I was reading through my things. I'm able to be less nervous and awkward on my own show. Something where I had to like have prepared notes for, I was like, ooh. It's like when I was doing my senior thesis project. My capstone research project. I did an hour-long presentation in 30 minutes. Yeah, I talked a little too fast. Yeah, because at the beginning I thought we were just going to do like a bandeau top, so I was like, oh, straps. And then I was like, Phoenix, think about yourself. You probably need some straps on your top. Reasons. Alright, we have trimmed all of our threads almost. I don't think anybody can ruin Mr. Singer's legacy other than himself. He did a fair enough job with that. We got one scene. Oh, you know, do we really want to need straps? I haven't decided yet, but we don't have straps. One bandeau top with stretchy top and under section. Done. Check. Is it time for my how I learned to set in a zipper without a zipper foot, even though I think we're going to use the zipper foot today? I'm going to put those straps to the side. So we have the double circle skirt that coordinates with our little top. Actually, before we do that, we should probably slap in our old hem for this puppy. I think that this fabric is skinny enough that even though we did the flat hems on here, I think it should just even that out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to roll it through. There's our favorite foot. Yep, no ruffles. I've got so much of this fabric left, I think I might make maybe we'll do a long sleeve pullover and then a pair of loose pants, kind of like these ones I'm wearing. It's kind of nice to have so much, enough fabric of one thing that I can make like an entire collection. For better or worse. Alright. Oh. I was trying to start the hem, the hem at the middle of the thing, even though I haven't stitched it to make it the full circle yet. Let's start it the way we're supposed to. I only have like 7 yards of rolled hem to quickly blow through real quick. Whoo-wee. It is so chilly up here. I know I say that and I'm like, oh, I mean in the 40s, but oops. Just a little off the top. All that stuff looks funny. It's all kind of caught up in the seam. There we go. Maybe a couple of bags in a purse. With some of the other stuff, absolutely, because I do have some patterns for some cute things. This 4-way stretch, I don't know if I made it for a bag, unless I use a whole bunch of lining, which I could. It's so stretchy. Not woven. But, oh my gosh, that new water-soluble stabilizer that we got for Christmas, in the warm water, it had the texture of felt like jelly or agar from making plates or thickeners. It was so, folks are sensitive to like gloopy textures on their hands. That stabilizer's not for you. man, is it loopy. And what is my hem going in? I think with some of the wovens that might be a good idea. Let's see here, Allie. A Foundations Revealed participant made a full outfit of hood, skirt, pair. Oh, out of camo fabric. That sounds fun. I like that idea. A camo parasol. For all of your frolicking in the wood needs. Yes, yes, Allie. Groupie water. It was like frog slime. Yeah, like thicker than corn syrup. Had that mucilaginous, snotty quality texture to it. I did not care for the feel of that. I mean, it was fine, but why am I fighting the hem on this dress? Right. Yes, like holding tadpoles and letting them run through your fingers. Yeah, that's kind of it. Yep, it was holding snot. There's, yep, that was it. Why? I'm fighting the rolled hem. Okay, just put your rolled hem foot back on. You know you're gonna use it. Part of my brain was almost like, do I want to do bias tape instead? But I didn't. I have some cut, but not enough. And I didn't look and see if I could tie it. I have pre-made enough of something. Let's go to my bubble room. Yeah. I don't have to do that step right now if I'm feeling grumpy about it. I can set in the zipper instead. Oh! Phoenix, you're getting all frustrated, but the problem is under the hood that your bobbin is not pulled through. And you haven't dusted in a couple days. I've not been doing my regular when I check the bobbin, change the bobbin, dust under the hood, and that snubs me sometimes. Alright, are we all the way back in business? Yes. Brilliant. Roll hem. Nope, that's my zipper foot. I changed my mind. We're doing the roll hem first. Wow, we are. The feet that I use most frequently, they just like hang out next to me. And I lose what's literally right in front of my face that way. Okay, rolled hem. One black zipper. And then we'll see what's next on our magical mystery stitching tour. I'm getting ready. I need to take my books off of the table in the other room so I can get Dove set up with a project. Oh, is that a coffin type or a fold-on type? This is a coffin one. Right, because you never see me the coffin on it. It's that I move it. Yeah, I with my 101, the way I don't like putting machines down because then I forget to use them, and then the oil seems to get everywhere. I just as soon have my coffin on this. Blankest roll times. Alright, this is going to be a misadventure. It's a good thing this fabric does not fray. That's more of the exercise of doing it. Yeah, so we've got these two projects. I'm gonna call that shortcut. I really need to put the top on because of the kitties. Yes, I do. I do need to keep, yes. But then just because the virtue of this machine being in the window right now, Loki loves just sleeping on the table. And if I keep the coffin lid for he just, yeah. I know, little man was playing with some paper earlier, and then he tried to attack a spool of thread, and I was like, no, we don't play, kitties don't play with thread. You've got all these things to play with. I'm looking at all the things to play with in my ribbon and lace tub of doom. There's a lot of short little pieces that I just can't get rid of. So I was contemplating just samplers of one-off ribbon flowers or little detail techniques, just practicing things. I might start with the blue since that's the color of the bloomers and chemise that we have lined up. So I also think it would be funny to, since we sew so many old-fashioned undergarments, to just wear old-fashioned undergarments while we sew old-fashioned undergarments. Which is kind of what I would call that. And it's cold. I was like, quilted stays, you're my friend today. Alright, we just have a few more meters of this to go. Yeah, so spent the week from that white that I screwed up last week when I tried to make the continuous bias tape. I sewed something in the wrong place, and I didn't realize until I was like partially through cutting it. So I do have a smaller section that we might revisit. Yeah, because I did not do it correctly. And that bias tape, or the cutting ruler that comes in the puzzle boxes, that tool, it makes me feel like a fool. It kept falling off. I still can't cut straight lines with it, which that might just be Phoenix can't cut straight lines. Never could. I failed that class in kindergarten. Yeah. So we can laugh at some lengths, because I do have a whole bunch of that white bias strips cut. So we're going to use those for some of the details on the bloomer section. Oh, there's... Oh, that's a blank piece of paper. The bottom of the bloomer section. Going to be some bias detail. But first we need to finish what we're working on. Rolled hem, seam, zipper. Is what's first. I know, maybe the next time I dissolve that, I'll bring a little dish and a towel, and I'll show it up on stream. Oh, that stuff feels funny, but it dried nice and firm and not sticky, which, no, maybe we'll have to do some more bigger spider webs to compare the ones we've already, the two better. Allie, like, all the things in the puzzle box, each thing takes getting used to. Yes, that's what I figured. I'm trying to find, is it better if everything is like laying on a flat hard surface? Can I do it on plein air? I have some pretty chunky looking strips, but it's gonna get, I was like, well, if it's gonna get used as like lacing spaghetti straps for details, all the raw edges and the things that look funny, you're not going to be able to see at the end. So I was like, well, I don't think does it look bad? Yes. Also, do I think it is it going to make the biggest difference? I drive forwards and I just broke my thread. It's like, probably not. So, well, we can laugh at that when we get there. For all that water soluble, I cut out most of the excess before water. Yes, that's a good idea too. Just also, I tried to fill up as much as possible because I was like, I don't want to waste a whole bunch. It gets too small. But yeah, that does help it feel less glooby. And it cuts down the drying time a little bit sometimes. But good thinking, Allie. I love this narrow rolled hem foot. I don't know why people hate on this foot. I think they're missing out. Fingers crossed that we get through the seam section all right. Please be narrow enough. Please be slender enough to slide right through and not get stuck. I pulled most of it. I'm just like, gently. Massaging a little here and there to just smooth it out a little bit more. Okay, let's just slot this next section up. That mostly went through. We'll call it good. Oh, it's a love or hate for that foot. Yeah, that's the impression I get. You know me, it ticks all the right pluses. Not having to iron this double fold hem, oh my god. My love for the effect of a beautiful pressing, but my dislike for the act of the time on something like this. Oh, just give me the rolled hem put any day, please. Don't make me look at the iron like that. That sounds like a nightmare. But folks do it. I bless their soul, bless their hearts. Yeah, that's my. I love this foot more than I love pressing. Oh, that's not always true. I know pressing's important and it serves its place, and I love how you can completely ruin a garment with a bad press, or take something that is hot trash and magically fudge around with it with a good pressing. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna iron all these twice. Humbug. Yeah, so if we get to it, we've got a little of this, a little of that. I drew on that sheer poly whatever from last week some 1-inch. I dotted some 1-inch grid to start our smarking. To start a little bit of our smocking sampler, so we can pick out. Though in my head, I think I know which design I want to do. So we'll start with that one, and then I don't have to rush. We can just try different smocking fabric manipulation techniques with the last of that, and then we'll call it a table runner or a shawl or whatever. How can they not love this foot? This beautiful rolled hem. No raw edges, so narrow, so beautiful. Why? How could you hate that? They're missing out, I say. Alright, what I'm not missing out on is the amount of fabric, and pulling of it is kind of heavy. Oh, did I? Oh. Pardon me while I complain that I took a pin out errantly, and now my elastic migrated. Oh! Smart smocking equals smarking. Yes, smart smocking. We will be doing some smarking later because I'm trying to be good and actually do a sampler so I can see how much fabric take-up happens before I commit to final garment. Oh, stuff has got these horrible holes in it. I used this black stripe that we did the pants out of for the waistband. Oh, worked slightly better as against something that was more solid, but I remembered, I was like, I don't love this material to sew with it. Here we go. There's the elastic comed out from its hidey hole. I thought I stitched it, but let me just stick a safety pin in there to hold it in place. Okay. Let's get back to that. Yeah, so we'll try one of the techniques from that. I got so much stuff, so I should. I'm gonna be bitching. I need to be stitching. What a week it was. See, Christopher Freeland is trying to fail up. Good job. Karen Bass is faffing around. Newsom waits 10 minutes on the tarmac for Trump to get out of the plane. Oh, didn't you do a smock sampler? No, not yet. We did the tucking for that shirt that I need to finish. I don't think... Have I smocked? I did smock, but I think that was when I did it by hand. I was talking about it. I don't think I've done it yet. I could be wrong. So it talks, that took forever. Yeah, because I've got, well, a dress yeah, I don't think so, but I've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. So I was just looking again. I have from the internet, there's a mid-century smocking technique, and I had a dress draped, or not draped. I'd sketched an idea, but I kind of like their dress better, so we might look at that one, but I think I want slightly poofier sleeves. Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm bouncing. My brain is in between like so many things. I keep talking and thinking and like smattering things here and there. That's right. You don't need to remember all the chaos. It's enough that I try to curate this like cute little space, because I was like, oh, it's because the one day like horror saw the disaster behind me. Oh, for the New Year's stream, and I was like reminiscing to myself, Phoenix, sewing really isn't a hobby for the minimalist. I mean, I'm sure that there's somebody who just has a tiny bit of just enough and uses it and it's done and like throws their scraps out or something. I have no idea. Or only make zero waste garments, so there is no cabbage left over, but like that's not me. No, not me. Yeah, so the dress that I'd sketched, it just had that diamond in the underbust section, which I really, I guess I could do more than, I can make more than one smudged garment, so I don't know why I'm like, but, well, Phoenix, finish your hem, and then you can get excited and show pictures for the next thing. We finished the top, we're finishing this skirt, then we'll get to what's next is next. Alright. Yeah, so I can talk through. So before I learned, or yeah, a zipper foot helps in setting a zipper, but it's not mandatory. My favorite way before I got comfortable with a zipper foot is to do the seam and then stitch the zipper and then stitch rip it. Oh, Ellie, I have never met a sewer that was a minimalist. Yeah, that's what I'm like, in my head, because like nothing is 100%, so I can't in good faith say like 100% of sewists are maximalists. but it's not a the light changed enough that I can. This beautiful time of the day where the afternoon light doesn't know what we're doing. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know any either. Actually, I can't think of any arts and craft person. Like metal worker, you need your forge, all your metal, all your tools, glass blowing, even um or the lamp working for the beads. That takes a fear. Just gonna massage over this. Just encourage it through. Get in there. Slide through my slots. Yeah, I think that's the antithesis to a craft person as a minimalist. Unless there's somebody who's got like their craft studio is where their maximal art stuff is, and then their house is minimalist, but that just doesn't sound exciting. Hey, Horror! How are you doing? I did not stop by in the chat, but I watched your show. Yes, your game show, quite amusing. Failed on all of the word games, and that disappointed me because I try not to be terrible at those. Oh, good. Let's see here, Ellie. I am not speaking about people who mend. Yes, that can be minimalist. True, mending. Yep. Like a scout kid with a thread and needle packet. Exactly. Yes, but mending is not so. It is sewing, but yeah. Well, I'm so glad you had a great night. That was awesome. Your game show was quite amusing too. Dove and I. Good times. Come on, Goober Scoober. Oh, get over here. Oh, Ellie, quickly, do get it. They do get a sewing patch for it. Right? Well, being able to put in a little patch is sewing or fix a zipper or a button. It counts, but yeah, that's. They should just call it the mending badge, right? Then, if it's not really sewing. I saw that. He was so excited. It was a good time. I failed at all those word puzzles, which kind of made I was usually I'm not amazing, but I don't usually fail as badly as I did yesterday. Ay, ay, ay. And so, since our chat is full of Canadians this afternoon, are those Pogo Pogos? Is that what you folks call corn dogs? Or is that a brand of corn dog? Because I was looking up about these Pogo Pogo poutines, and I don't understand what that it means. Oh, right, from Beer Who Spells It Wrong. We were highly amused. Oh, Allie. Oh, I can hear the static zappies from the kitty getting better. Right, I know. Pogo is a brand. Okay, it is a corn dog and it is a brand. Okay, that's what I deduced from my trolling of the infowebs. Okay, so it's Pogo brand corn dogs. So that gets me back to corn dog poutine. Sounds kind of good. Okay. Yes, the Canadians have weighed in for me. Perfect. Love it. It makes me highly amused when the big chatters are two different platforms, but yet both Canadian. Canadians repping my chat hard today. And I'm here for it. Quite amused. Now the lights come to the perfect. the way I like it. It's coming through the window. Nope, still haven't made poutine yet, but I did have a Reuben yesterday, and it was good. But sometimes it's the simple things, like being able to find marbled rye somewhere, or seeded rye. It shouldn't be so difficult, but I think I'm gonna need to get a 10-pound bag of rye flour. Ooh, and I need to feed the blob. The sourdough needs tending. Oh, I'm like headless and... Ugh. Alright, just a few more meters left to go. Oh, Allie, just Pogo. Pogo, Pogo is both language like cotton, cotton on our labels. Okay, oh, that's funny. Alright, I get it now. Oh, horror. I live here, but after the way Canada acted during the scandemic, I have disowned my Canadianism. Yeah, I was just saying how it looks like Chrystia Freeland is trying to fail upwards. So funny, I see American friends who are like, please, Canada, take us. And Canada, so many of the Canadians are like, please, America, take us. Or we don't want any of it. It's all a hot mess. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know anymore. It's like the Greater Idaho movement that wants to take a whole bunch of Oregon. Or that, who was it? Was she Canadian or American? Who was like, Oregon and Washington should become part of Canada. It's like, can we just like, you guys need to take something. Could you just take like Portland south to Eugene and leave the rest of it? Okay, no, I'm blinded. Alright. The joys of natural lighting and how I need to adjust for it during a show. Oh, Freeland is strange after she went. She was smart. Okay. Why does it? I don't think they are stuck in their way. I keep trying. One day. One day. Oh, just moving my... Never mind. Oh. Maybe from one Canadian to another, you can work on that horror. Oh, Allie, now Trudeau is trying to get us to fight the tariffs. Just need to make a deal, but he wants to fight our prime minister. Oh no, he wants to battle the bully. Oh god, right? Anything to be able to prop up and be like, look what I did! I beated those big bad Americans. Oh, and make me a message of some sorts when really all Canada wants is a better deal, right? It's so bizarre. Ugh, I have too many layers on. Don't eat my Rumble. Oh, that's right. I moved cats, and then I realized I can't sew that way. Yeah, I feel like everybody's just like posturing and trying to like all that like one-upmanship. That's just, I don't get it. I mean, I that's not true. I get it. It's annoying. Oh, let's see here, Allie. We really don't even know at this point what the press wants, right? funny how my government only thinks this is the border is the 49th. Thinks the border is the 49th, leaving out the parts or even seas to see like real borders. Yeah. Oh, and the hullabaloo, the Gulf of America. And the AP being like, no, it's still the Gulf of Mexico. Everybody's just like posturing and dick waving right now. That's all I'm seeing. Just a lot of dick waving. The way that people are becoming unhinged on all sides makes me marginally concerned. Things seem so quiet. I'm like, do I need to start worrying about like a new version of the Weather Underground? Are we just gonna start blowing stuff up? I don't know. Feeling like overly paranoid, but just I don't know. Things just don't feel right, and they have it, and I can't put my finger on it, and I don't like it. Let's see here. I'm in America, and so is Peru. The U.S. is not all of America. That's right. Well, if we call it's all, everybody's part of North America. Oh no, Peru's South America. But then, how does Mexico get to claim it all? I don't know. Actually, I think if we could just get the Panama Canal under not Chinese control again, that sounds like it would be good. Why does Mexico? Exactly. Why does Mexico get to have it all? They've had it for long enough. They had that name for long enough. It's our 100 years with it. We'll give it back eventually. Oh, little dude. Just look over at the screen and see your tail under my chair. I need to stop looking at that art quilt that I need to finish hand stitching and just take it out and get it finished. Unless I bring Brunhild into the other room and use her in the mornings while I drink coffee. That's an idea. We'll see. What are you doing, little dude? Your paper is underneath the other sewing machine. Your paper ball. He thinks he's getting more food, but not till dinner time. He's so wanting. But like snack time is his middle name. He's like, little man, snack time. Alright, we're coming along on this rolled hem. Then we can get to the zipper section. So yeah, they used to intimidate me, but this technique I like. So we're gonna do not a separating one, because this is a skirt. Almost to the edge, almost to the edge. I almost put on a different chemise and different corset, and I was like, it's too cold. I want something warmer. Oh, I did see, that was highly amusing to me that Florida, New Orleans, and parts of Texas have had more snow than Alaska has had this year. That was funny to me. I don't know what to do with that. They say next week, though I know they're lying to me. As long as they get snow up in the mountains, so I have water for the summertime. Oh, let's see. I wanted to do a lot today. I got none of it done. That's usually how welcome to my world. Ginormous plans and expectations versus the amount what I hope to get done, what I actually get done. Oh, right, Allie, you really don't like zipper feet for fixing zips in jeans. Man, oh man, it just twists out of line. I've not tried to do a zip in denim yet, but yeah, sometimes the foot is the makes it more complicated. I don't. That's material I don't have currently in my collection. It's outside of scripts. And, serious bad sign of bad weather, climate to come. Yeah, it's gonna be good times. So, not that anybody here I think needs a reminder, but don't sign up to have a. Don't let your thermostat be accessed by the Wi-Fi. Your thermostat doesn't need Wi-Fi connectivity. Just say no. Just say no. It's a good thing I'm working on having enough warm weather clothes. Are we going to have like our our version of like the mini medieval ice age? I still don't think our power grid could handle it. And then in all of the intelligence, when there's too much frozen fog, they say and it does make extra particulate in the air. But you have to really think about needing to use your wood stove when the air pollution is too bad. So heaven forbid you only have a wood stove. They're so smart and thoughtful. The pictures of the snow right at the beach, that looked gorgeous. Except I don't think they're used to that water being cold like that. Here, you don't. You don't go into the ocean without a wetsuit around, right? Or I am. It is too darned cold for that. Oh well. Now shouldn't talk about the beach because now I'm gonna want to go, and I don't feel like sitting in the car for quite that long. All right, we are almost at the done of the rolled hem section. We'll just speed through the last meter or so. I know the other reason why would I would just make friends with this foot so that you don't need to cut meters and meters of bias tape or buy pre-made bias tape. It's just silly to me. Maybe it will get warm enough so that they can reopen that land bridge to Canada. Or I mean Russia. Next. We're attached to Canada, guys. We don't need a land bridge there. What have you been stitching on, Allie? Are you just continuing to fix up your Davis vertical shuttle? Now I keep having to stop myself because that Pfaff industrial machine with this adjustable speed servo motor dropped in price by $75, so now it's $7.25, but I still don't need another sewing machine. So I just look at it on Craigslist and say, may the right home find you. Alright, we are almost there. So we'll slap in some pins. I'm going to do the flat felled hem, except for at the top, and I'll set the zipper. I'll pin so I know where I need to stop the making it flat. Stop the filling. Yeah, then it's just so easy. We're gonna do our seam, stitch in the zip, stitch rip on top of the zip, and then do another. Oh, $7.25 for an industrial. Offer $2.25. Yeah, because that's down. They had it originally at $800. Let me see here. I can grab the specs on that machine. It could be, yeah, the price is for the servo motor and they want their money back, maybe so. Because it does not. Let's see. Oh, let me. Oh, sugar snaps. No, that's fine. I can get back to that. Here's that machine. Oh, I still can't believe somebody still has that green moray like we had 4 yards for $100. They are out of their mind. That's why it's still on sale. Oh, somebody's asking $2,300 for a set of 23 vintage aluminum millinery forms. I don't need that. Yeah, let's see here. FOF 138-6, straight and zigzag, knee lift, original manual, table with drawer, desk lamp, includes bobbins and needle. Yeah, it looks like a honker. Oh, and yeah, they've got all this just under the hood. Yeah, don't have no space for another machine, nor yeah. Alright. Myself distracted. Let's finish slapping this hem in. We can see we finished 2 pieces so far on today's show, which will move our total up and off the list to 6. So we only have 19 more projects done, and some of the leather ones are literally just cutting up the leather. There are a couple that do have sewing involved. That is not a servo. Oh, okay. Somebody doesn't know how to list their machine. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, because I would not have known any better. Kelly's coming in hot. Mislabeling their motors. I would only offer $350 Canadian. Okay. So if I wanted, I should offer a 200. Yeah, 200 American, 225. Yep. Yeah, they just want. Well, that's I think the owner of the shop that went out of business. That I may have gotten a couple of rolls from. I think that's her machine that she's trying to unload. We'll see. Oh, did my bobbin go out? I don't yep. Just long enough to be able to hear the bobbin run out. I should have wound more bobbin for the show, but we'll get there. Oh! since I'm in between stuff. Oh, next, just stay on one track for a second. Load your bobbin, finish this project, then we can talk about the next stuff. I'm getting too excited and just wanting to do it all, but I only have 2 hands. That's alright. It's not necessary. Though I do think you're missing out, but no, it just was one of those things in my growing up and in my family. Like, it was just gonna learn how to do some things. The prerequisite in my family line, but I don't think I think I have 2 siblings who I don't think have ever used a sewing machine either. A liquidator or a flipper would say that. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Ellie, that can't be an owner. They know what a servo and an old electrical motor are. Okay, so a liquidator or a flipper would say that. I see. I don't know. No, I'm like, now there's intrigue about this machine. Too expensive, and they don't know what they have. Maybe they had it on I have no idea. But sounds like you got some strong words for this person. The seller. They're misrepresenting their assets and not in the right way. And somebody's still trying to sell for $300 that Wilson in the beat up table. It's like, also don't have room for rescued enough stuff. I can't take home any more stray machines. Oh, Ellie, it looked like a FAF 23 industrial, so a good machine, but would and could use a real servo for nice control and quiet running. I see. Huh. I don't know. This just gets curiouser and curiouser. No, I'm changing the foot, not replacing my bobbin. We just did that, kids. Alright, so regular old-fashioned run-of-the-mill presser foot, check. Gonna stick in a couple of pins just for good measure. Not, we couldn't be reckless, but okay. So I'm just gonna do, here's the wrong side, here's the right side, right sides together, slap in some pins. Also, just because skirt is very swooshy, as most skirts should be, unless you're doing a little bodycon thing, in which case that doesn't go with swishy. Where's the edge? Where? I have too much fabric. Said no one ever. I've just misplaced my edges. We don't need no stinking foot. Nope. We're just gonna do embroidery for the rest of the show. Who needs a stinking foot? Unnecessary. Okay. We'll just do like 5. Mostly just to make sure fabric wants to roll a little bit. Zipper gets nailed down freestyle. Zippers. Zippers in the seams, zipper style. We're sewing zippers. We're sewing zippers up in here. I'm just gonna massage something. Just gonna do a little magic. Just one more pin. So I'm gonna start up at the waistline. Oh, what I was gonna do was get the zipper. One black zipper. Hold it up to the top of the waistband. And actually, it doesn't matter yet. But I want my seams to be big enough to cover up most of the zipper tape. I'm going to set my zipper to the right side, and I'm saying it out loud. So when I lose my zipper, everybody can say, Phoenix, it's on the right, by your right hand. And I'll be like, oh right, that's where we left it. This waistband is a little chunky because we've got 4 layers of fabric and 2 lengths of elasticated in there. Do we need elastic and a zipper? Sometimes. Sometimes we do. But, alright, we are like chatty Cathying. I need to make sure I have a good solid ½ inch. And I'm not going to lock or to backstitch the top of the seam because it's going to get unpicked. Oh, this fabric, I will be glad when that is gone. This black with the stripies. I almost put it in the box to give to the Goodwill. It made me so mad. Once we get this part stitched in, I have big assets. Yes, we do have big assets and large tracts of land. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, yeah. Okay, where were we? Stitch it. Stitch it good. I'm just checking the bottom layer just to make sure that I've got enough to fold it open. Oh, lock the top. All fitting and checking might come apart if you don't. Okay, it will be locked, and it'll be locked twice because I've got to set the zipper in. I've got a contingent. It'll be okay. I'm not from the government and I'm not here to help, but I'm pretty sure this will be okay. Because I've got to set the zipper in, so we'll lock it then, and then we're gonna stitch over this. But I'm gonna lock the bottom, so. What I already did, we're gonna rip most of that open. Okay. We are pop and locked at the bottom. And this next part is kind of like magic. So, got my zip. I'm going to make sure that the zipper tab is towards the right side of the fabric. I'm going to set the zipper flush. Ouch. And I'm going to be very careful to set the zipper teeth right along the seam we just stitched. I'm going to put the pins on the side that I'm going to knot on first. I have to secure the top or I am putting on a 25% tariff. Okay, I'm 100% going to secure the top. Yep. There will be securing of the top. Is my pennant's like 25 machine embroidered flower motif? What's my tariff? I promise, I'm gonna lock it. I'm gonna pop and lock the top. I promise, Ellie. I will. I'll even do it 4 times. We'll have like a super reinforced. Wow, this zipper is super long. Let me. I want to see if I can find a slightly shorter zipper because my zipper doesn't need to take up half the length of the skirt. That's too long. Oh. I'll do it. I will, Ellie. I promise. Let me. No. I want like a 3-inch zip. I just need something little. No. Also, no. I only have big zippers. I just want something cute and little. Oh, is this one littler? It is. Alright. Anything wrong with you, metal toothed zipper? Nope, I'm gonna use this little one. It's actually real metal. Oh, that. And it's black as we're just gonna end up like with this pink colored zipper in here. Okay, I'm gonna repin, reorient everything the exact same way. Zipper pull towards the outside, catch one side of the fabric, put a pin, and we're gonna super make sure that we reinforce the top because that's gonna get a lot of stress every time. Message, make sewing great again. Yes. I don't mind paying the tariff to make sewing great again. Especially because I was just seeing somebody talk about crafting and art being political, and they. Yes. We are gonna make sewing great again. I'm going to actually use my board so I can not flood this section up. I'm gonna slide the waistband inside. I have a flat surface to pin on, so I'm not pinning, trying to get the zipper pinned in. All willy-nilly. This is a part that, yes, we know Phoenix flies by the seat of her sewing bench, but there are times where I want it to be right. Oh, Ellie, one of my platforms for the 2028 election, your first illegal immigrant president. Yes. Indeed. Yup. Well, in Killer, I had so many great slogans all written, all composed for you. You just need to let them know, and they're like gung ho. Okay, so I'm going to. All right. Take this off. Hold this up so we can see. So I have the zip pinned in. I'm going to like go back and forth 4 times at the top of the zipper because that's going to get a lot of stress from all the up-inning and down-inning, and I don't want it to pull apart. Oh, Alex, somebody tried to make historical sewing racist. I just showed them a 1720 portrait of a British member of Parliament who was African. Yeah, it. Oh, yeah. There's. Everybody wants. I don't. Yeah. I miss that like old school, just don't be an asshole mindset. I'm like, I just don't care about groups. I'm more interested in individuals who just aren't shitty. And I've got a lot of material we're going to be stitching through, so I'm going to go. Oh, maybe I'll actually put on the zipper foot for this part. Even though this type way of setting in a zipper, you do not need a zipper foot. I stitched used this technique without a zipper foot enough times and times it's not necessary. So don't be like, I don't have one of those, Phoenix. You don't need it, kids. You don't need it. You just need to sew carefully. Not a place to rush and flub it up. Ay. We have a thick mountain up here, but we are extra thick with all the quadruple C's right now. I'm gonna pull you all the way close. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna backstitch like 5 times. Okay, maybe just 3 because it's really hard with this mountain of fabric. And I'll probably hand just reinforce the very top of the zipper pull just to make sure everything is nice and nicer. I'm just trying to guide, oh, of course, I'm trying to talk about what I'm doing in my hands in a way. There we go. Try to guide the zipper foot. Just riding the edges. We're just riding the edges of the tracks. And I think I've left enough of a seam that I could add another layer of stitches, which we might do, but not yet. I'm just double checking as we get to the bottom. The zipper teeth are still along the center of that seam. We're going to go down, then do a quick back stitch right at the end of the zipper. No, just drive forward, please. Yes. Oh, I thought you were going to bring me some tea. Thanks, dear. We're going to drive across the middle of the gap and then stitch up the other side of the zipper. First, we're going to clean this. Trim that thread. Oh my god, we've been sewing for an hour and a half already? We are almost 2 projects done for today. Not your crappiest showing, Phoenix. If I keep looking from Synthtrax's AI shows, I'm so torn. I have mixed feelings about AI. But looking at some of the AI generated costumes, some of it kind of looks cute, and I kind of am thinking about making a couple things, but I should probably finish my 25 and 25 before we start thinking about new things. Or scratch patterns off of that list. If we're gonna not do them, really. Okay, the top very edges of the zip are a pain in the ass. Okay, we're gonna go. Make sure this is well reinforced. Okay, 2. Let's do one more for good measure. Okay. This zip not going anywhere for a goodly while. Okay, so now we have a zip on the inside. Okay, I'm going to want to stitch that down. And this closed section on the outside, but if we magically and carefully open it up, we have a working zip. I know you don't like AI songs. That digitized sound bugs my ears. I know, yes. Yeah, I know. The sound I don't love, but the potential, everything. There's nothing that's like I can't, and nothing is clearly always bad or always good. And now, since I didn't backstitch the first time, I can slowly unpick that section. Ah, yes, Allie, most natural voice that is altered by auto-tune. Our other program does that too, right? AI just amplifies that icky sound. Yeah. It's like using it as a tool to make something better, or as like a rough draft, versus overusing it. I'm just trying to be careful, because if I'm not, I have accidentally put holes and stuff. Anytime there's a stitch picker or scissors next to your projects, you have to be careful. And then I'm just exposing the teeth. Our little zipper here. Well, let's see here, right, Allie? It used to be people would go see a band, now they go see a techno one person trying to get the crowd going with the fist bumps in the air and then pressing the next button, slider, or switch. Yeah. Yeah, even the DJs don't always, not all of them carry around a big bag of records, or a big milk crates, egg crates of records anymore. What kind of show is this? I don't know. Right now, this is the unpicking show. And as soon as it's unpicked, we have completed 2 more garments today. And I've got 5 gajillion things left. And I've not forgot about our winter quilted costume. This is what happened with the pin tuck. It took me so long, and I was working on it, and then I just am like, I don't feel like it right now. Oh, I was smart. And I know how far to unpick because I stitched the bottom of the zipper. Every once in a while we have a good idea. This one is awfully close. We're going to need to reinforce this zipper a little bit. But if we just need a little zipper... Oh, let's pull this to the right side out. One swirly skirt. I guess I could show me. How many layers of clothes can Phoenix wear in one? Who's a... What's right? Yeah. Okay. That's funny. Alright. So, one top and a bottom. Yay! I was just laughing to myself because this top is supposed to have, it does have elastic at the top and the bottom, but somehow it got disc uncaught at the seam. And I, without unpicking, not sure what we're going to do about that. It was supposed to be gathered, but I think the waistband is high enough on the skirt. We could just slit out that other elastic at the bottom and just make it a dress instead of a skirt and a top, but we'll figure that out. Alright, 2 more projects done. 2, 4, 6. Are we 6 down for the year so far? 19. So, here we have, oh, this is the top. So I've got a chemise and bloomers cut. This is for the top. This is the bottom. This is the top. So I guess we can real quick. We're going to do a rolled hem all around these little triangle bust pieces. We're going to gather these down into with some lace. But do we want to do a whole... Oh, in here. So I got bored. I used the cutting guide. I cut quite a good number of lengths, so I'm going to leave some of it unstitched for bias binding, and I'm going to do a couple of lengths for the bottom of the bloomers section, because now the light has shifted yet again. But if I remember, right back to my drawing. So I'm gonna use the bias band tubes to make a little X pattern so we can slide some ribbon through to gather the bottom of the bloomers section. Plus I need some for the waistband and the straps for the top. So let's stitch that first. After, don't look, didn't accidentally pull the thread through the wrong way. I gotta go get my spool of thread that somebody moved. How did it get all the way over there? Well, we're gonna be good. We're sewing white, so let's put in white thread instead of black. Since we do have white bobbin and alright. So we'll just do a few yards with the bias binding foot to sew the cord like we did last week for the practice. So I do have some big strips of white paper, so we'll do that same, so stitch it onto the paper. Like foundation paper piecing, but for foundation decorating piecing, we're using paper as a foundation to then be ripped away, but we will enjoy the experience much more with that paper than if we don't do it, use it. Being sure of it. Alright, Hummingbirdie. How many meters did I cut? I don't know. How many are we gonna sew? Until I get bored. Why not just fold the fabric over the string or lace? That's a good question. I don't know. Um, did I fold it over? There is going to be some folding over too to hide all the raw edges. I'm just going to use it as a base. I think so. Maybe I didn't explain what my. But we'll get there. First, let's sew some strips. Because then we'll sew the design, then fold it. I think we're going to do all of it. Alright. Bias hem foot. Check. I just got all those meters of rolled hem. I just want to do we'll do a little bit more mindless sewing, then we get into the finicky stuff. Yeah, because it will definitely be finished. I don't know. Oh, okay. You asked this before. The length the cut first wasn't off. Can't do this. Maybe. Oh. I think I'm confused. I'm not getting. I don't understand. But yeah, I pretend there's usually if I mean, not always. That's definitely not always the case. But I try to have it figured out or seen somebody else do something enough times. I'm like, this way makes sense, and I could do it a different way, but it just seems like more work. But yeah, it's just you have enough. Hmm, I'm just doing the way all the Indian ladies do it. Like, their work is so good. They must know something I don't. I'm just trying to like. First part with this bias binder foot, besides making cutting the bias strips, which was utter rubbish of a nightmare. Getting the fabric through the foot. It would end up too short if you rolled the bottom for the string. Yes. Yeah, want a little extra. Um, the amount of fabric I have, I'm just having enough. Now I remember why people get the bias attachment foot also works great, but it's all the tools in the puzzle box. It has its own unique nuances and frustrations that might develop. Into that fabric around the foot while pulling it far enough so that the needle actually catches it. And there is probably a right side and a wrong side, but for this application. I'm going to call whatever happens the right thing. I'm just like stroking it back and forth to get it looped around all of the outside of the loop. This is super high quality content here. Can Phoenix make this footwork? Maybe. Top and bottom would make it 2 inches too short. Yes. Yeah, you don't need it short. Oh, you know, the top and the bottom because there's the seam for when we stitched it. Let's go. Yeah, so we're like adding a little bit of length and detail. And I realized when I sketched it that if I didn't add something to the bottom to nip it in, it was going to be super out, and I wanted to be able to decoratively have them like poofy but close to the thigh all at the same time. I don't think this piece is actually going to act any differently, but in my head I'm like, I didn't like working with that one. Let's try this other one instead. Okay. Yeah, because it'll add a little length, a little detail. Alright, maybe we're just on something else if I keep. I might throw in the towel. No, not yet. But what are you doing, Bigfoot? Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. What are you doing, little man? Yeah. Oh, might have to pick out a more exciting piece because I realize this is the worst content. Next. Hey, what are you doing, dude? Where do you think you're going? But this worked so much easier last week when I was just doing my sampler section, and now that I'm like trying to make the real thing, we are loving it up. Well, little man, did you go ask the mistress to bring us our teacup? No, am I gonna have to skippity doo to the other room real quick and get the teacup? No. Okay. I'm gonna take myself off camera at skippity doo dah to go get myself my teacup, and I will be right back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. Enable. There, we're back. Of course, I sit back down. He's like, "Did I forget to bring you your teacup?" Yeah, that's okay. That's alright, I got 2 feet that still work. Now, can I get this tape? Oh, you know what? Maybe if we have a pointy end. I get stuck. You need to get stuck in, but you need to do what I'm asking you to do. Wrap around. Okay, we're kind of in there. I've got it through to the backside. Fingers crossed. Let's sew some spaghetti straps. I don't think this is working right. I like trying to sew a rolled hem, but it needs to be a little bit. We need to catch both of the ends and not just the one. Alright, let's take 2. Or we're gonna work on a different. If we're gonna basically be sewing rolled hems, then I might as well just put the rolled hem foot out, and we'll work on the chemisette instead of this part that I also need for the chemisette. And I was like, should I line the bust cups? But no, it's gonna be fine. It's an underlayer to underlayers. I really do not need any more bulk there. I got assets for days in that department. Alright, I'm gonna give myself another 30 seconds to get this through the binder foot. While we work on a different section. Almost. I'm still in all the holes except for the holes I need it to be going to. Could you just this way? Oh, maybe. I need to tap the point and slide it through the middle towards the back. Okay. That is the trick. Okay. So have the tip at an angle. Don't try to slide it through the top or the bottom. Aim for the middle. And it looks like magic might have happened. Fingers crossed that we don't flub it up now. There's time. There is time, kids. And as of true Phoenix fashion, did I measure how much I was going to need? No, so I'm just going to sew like 3 or 4 of these strips, and we need more. We can stitch more. Your foot magically like folds everything around. Looks odd, but I'm just not going to question it. Stop looking Phoenix and just keep sewing. Sometimes you have to just trust the process. sewed some pretty not straight lines with the straight line cutting tool. I'm impressed with my skill to cut like saw teeth. And I'm just easing it along. Oh, look, now turn it inside out. Sugar snaps, no. That's the way it should be, all enclosed. I don't. No, that's why I'm using the biased foot mate. I don't have to. You're teasing me. With the biased foot attachment, it encloses the edges except for where my stitching is crappy and you can see loose edges. It's all enclosed. I'm being trolled. You can see it. It's not perfectly that is difficult sewing. Yeah, it's not perfect. I've got one of the sides, the edge is completely turned under. The other one, it's a little bit. I guess I could like melt it gently so it doesn't tarnish. No, I don't have to. It's fiddly. Yes, but way easier than having to turn loops. If I do this correctly, theoretically, there should be no raw edges. Because I also don't want raw edges when you sew the bias tape. Excuse me, it reminds me a lot of just using the rolled hem foot, but different. Oh, yeah, they're definitely keeping the fabric lined up appropriately so it doesn't roll, or rolls where it's supposed to, it not errantly does take a little bit of paying attention. I'm trying to keep like just right in the middle. But it's mostly so here's a section. Well, where is it? There's a couple of places where my stitching is good and there's no raw edges, but yeah, then I can just cut it into the strips I need. We can attach it to the foundation paper because here's the top, and then here's our little bloomer sections. That's going to be for the bottom, and felt like being over the top, so we're going to add some insertion lace, some ribbon, a little of this, a little of that. Who doesn't enjoy nice underwear? My head also, I keep thinking how they used to have those the recommended lists of like you should have this many shifts or this many chemises, this many all these basics. So I'm in my head want to go through and see, do I have could I do a winter, is that like my trousseau, my winter garment collection, and then probably a different one, another one for summer with some overlaps, because sometimes you don't want to wear your winter underwear in the summer. You know what, this one has got I connected it right at the edge. I'm just going to cut this section off. I don't need a seam right at the very end, plus it'll give me my next pointy section to, I'm like, the camera's up here. Look towards the camera, kid. I cut a pointy section so I can just slide it through with the other one to catch a little bit, maybe. Fingers crossed. Oh, sweet, and it just fed the new one through, I think. No, let me get my forceps and just pick up the needle and pull the thread material out just a smidge more. Something is stuck. There we go. Alright. Return to our bias binding spaghetti straps, or I don't know what to call this. I'm sure it has a name. Yeah, if my cutting was nicer, the finished project might be a little bit nicer also. We're getting better. What ends up like being spiraling and crookeding around itself? That is funny. Oh, see, okay. Here we've got a little strip that is all edges, completely bound. Glorious. Alright, I might start cutting more bias tape after this. I was also thinking of getting a scrap piece of fabric and retrying that stitching technique for the continuous bias binding, because somehow I ended up with a cone, and it's supposed to be just like a parallelogram that's open on the top and the bottom for where you do your seaming. That we did not have, but it's great. We tried it. We don't hate it. So that's something. Oh, sugars. Grab yourself. There you go. Just moving it. I tried to like stick all in the wrong places. For good measure, let's stitch 2 more. Then I'll still have a whole bunch for the places where you actually need the bias binding. So we will do more than just sew strips of it. We will actually use it for its intended purpose. Oh, this end looks terrible. I'll just get rid of you. Let's see if I add it a little bit sooner. Can we get it attached all at once? I carefully try not to. Oh. No, I think I want it like a sandwich on the inside. of the old one, attach the new one. If not, we'll just, it doesn't matter. We'll just do one and then attach the next one. Let's see here. Allie, sometimes a guide helps with this. It might be too narrow. Okay, after this length, try to turn it inside out. Are you? Oh. Okay. Okay. But the seam is gonna. I'll. Okay. I will. I know I'm like yammering about this. What I'm gonna do is like 20 feet of it. I would never. Yeah. I know. I feel like there's no. If I turn it, then it's gonna be wrong side out. You are. There is no reason to turn this inside out, sewing the tubes on the with the bias foot, because it's just like I would be attaching the bias binding to the garment. The edges most of the time get rolled in and are secured. If I turn it inside out, then the unfinished edges are going to be on the outside. I don't need to. He's trying to give me are you trying to give me a conniption? I would say more than just fiddlesticks or what the fudge cake. Yeah, there's no reason to. But if I was doing a different technique, I could completely see. But I'm sewing bias binding without it being bound to something. So theoretically, all of the raw edges are supposed to be on the inside. You are sending me down a squirrel hole that I'm not playing in. I'm not taking this bait. You are doing it right with the foot you are using. Right, no reason. That's what I was like. If I was just sewing tubes, yes, completely right. But I don't need to do that stuff. It's just that length of it is so much. Yeah. Let's just. So I have enough for the edge details and for the straps for the top. I just want to make sure I have enough. I mean, I might as well have enough for ornamentation when I have this much cut. So, I just went to town cutting strips, so there's going to be quite a few things that have white bias detail ornamentation hooplas with, because Phoenix goes in for a penny, in for a pound. What I was like, me and the cat had a talk. We just had this play, right? Yeah, because the other, exactly, I can see if there's a cat around. I know of at least one cat who thinks that these strips would make spectacular cat toys. Like, Mom, I would love it if you dragged it around so I could attach it. Kitty did all the work bringing the outside in, and all you did was brushed it off. Do you understand how difficult that kind of decorating is without hands? It's true. Loki was very upset when I had to try to pull that bunch of vegetation off of his beautiful fluff. He said, Mom, I had to roll in the grass a lot, so much rolling around in the dead vegetation to get this stick perfectly placed inside my fur. And you just go without any consent of mine, ripping it off. How dare you, Mom? How dare you? Yeah, I'm never sewing spaghetti straps ever again. Not ever again. Any other way. Why bother loop pulling and turning when you can just use the bias foot? There's there's weird things, and then there's insanity, and I choose not to do it. Yes, put the feather at the end to the stick. Yup, I can do that. I think I have enough that I can not waste some. I mean, strategically transfer assets to alternative locations. Strategically transfer equipment to alternate locations. That is the funniest acronym. Yes. The boys would be very much excited with that. And I was just thinking they're kind of all out of Wandy feather toys because Little Man utterly has destroyed them all. This foot sounds like it's chunking. Oh, I did it. Yeah, inside out. Poop rockets. Poop and rockets. Right. Only get inside out sucks. Yeah. Yeah. I remember looking at different ways and thinking, and once I saw this technique, I was like, fudge that. No. No. If it's something incredibly big, that it won't fit in the bias tape maker, but I'm pretty sure all of my things will be whatever 15/16 or 7/8 I think I measured it was for the gauge tool. Yeah, no. Whatever this makes is whatever I'm going to use. We're just done. Okay, that should be enough to keep us in business for a little while. Okay. So, let me set that aside, because knowing me, I'm going to misplace something. Let's work on the top first. We're going to throw a rolled hem in at the bottom. I'm going to need to run the gathering stitches at the end. I can. Let's see here. Oh, Ellie. Well, that is what kitties have to do. Shred. They have shredders. Work, play, leisure art. They shred. Yes, they do. Oh my gosh. Our kitty, Daji Bobo, he loved shredding paper and playing. So we called him the Tearer, terror. So he was a terrorist. I know. Is that the right size, right? Yeah. So I think I'm going to do a rolled hem for the bottom, and then maybe we'll do some bias binding on the sides, because we've got plenty of them. Oh. Should we do the bias binding? No, I'm not going to do the bias binding first. We're going to do the rolled hem, then we're going to attach our bias binding to the sides, and we'll stitch a little section for the straps, which is why in my head I was like, oh, if I line it, then I can encase it in the bottom, but it's fine. These are undergarments that don't need to be bulky because our shimmy, we are going to have our corded stays and then our chemise all around on top, which I am so looking forward to getting into that roll of green and cutting 20 meters of 3-inch strips so that we can make ruffles. Yeah, that's going to be one monotonous show. And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Oh, all that. Actually, I should get into there and grab a sample so we can see if we want to use the gathering foot, if we're going to shirr some of it. Just see how it plays. Yeah, because this will be nice and finished because it will be, the bottom is going to sit into a little lace section onto the other section of the little top. All this sewing, I do need to use my iron, but don't be scared. You don't need an iron all the time when you sew. You just need the right presser feet. And maybe the right machine. I don't know if those modern flimsy plastic pieces on these modern machines would work as well as this old solid sections. Okay, one finished edge. Remember to turn those ruffles inside out afterwards. You're trying to turn me inside out today, aren't you? All right. That gets gathered down. Oh, that'll be super cute. What a nice shade of icy blue, just like my heart. This undergarment set is for us ice queens out there. Now we're going to turn everything inside out. We're going to make sewing great again. Sewing's not subversive. Sewing is for everybody. Pick up your pins, grab your needles, hang on to your shears, and let's stitch for sanity. A sewing machine in every home. By the time you're 5, you know at least 5 types of seam treatments. Seam treatments. There's no reason to be afraid of those pins and needles. If you can handle a toothbrush, you can handle some thread and a needle. It is nice fabric. It looks, yes, feels like a poly satin something. Easy to turn things inside out due to that. Yeah, I do. This is the joke of the day. We're not at Mount Snowflake anymore, so we're just, everything's getting turned inside out. Maybe should we, if we have time at the end of the year, to do a corset or stays that's all body parts. We've got our ribs and stuff, but it's all on the outside. Yes, it does. I'm gonna go with a poly satin. I concur. Shiny on one side, and then matte and kind of scratchy. Why does the nice soft side have to be on the out for everybody else to enjoy? If this is my underwear, why can't the soft, comfortable side be next to my skin? Am I going to make this inside out? Ellie, how did we fall into this rabbit hole? Am I going to have the nice side next to my skin rather than the scratchy side for my underpinnings? I never understood why the soft stuff was for everybody else. Why the most comfortable sides of material are on the outside for everybody else to touch. When you're wearing your clothes, shouldn't it be that you get to touch the nice stuff? Now I'm gonna kvetch. I know, right, Ellie? See, it needs to be turned inside out. Yeah, yes. Now that I'm in this rabbit hole for myself, you're right. I am gonna sew this with the nice side on the inside because this shiny side is so soft and comfortable next to my skin. This scratchy side is scratchy. Yes, is it going to... No, it doesn't matter. It's not going to catch the other material because I'm going to wear a petticoat and all these layers. Oh, let's see, Ellie, so what? So what I learned today for comfort, turn it inside out. Yes. Yep. For my comfort, I'm turning it inside out. It's true. And if the rolled hem is on the outside, it also doesn't matter because this is underwear. So unless you're special and up close, most people aren't going to see this except for us who are watching me construct it. And if I start doing better about wearing and modeling, wearing my, not that I don't wear my clothes, but posting me in my garments over on my locals page. Yep, I'm turning it inside out for my comfort. I'm trying to find a slightly, one of the nicer, more even strips, because I'm actually going to use the bias binding as bias binding. Well, unless it's an undergarment under the underwear, right? It's my underwear, and as long as I'm comfortable in it, that's the only one who needs to be comfortable in my underwear. Being able to see it and enjoy it is not the same as me needing to be comfortable actually wearing it. Okay, so then we get to use the bias binder foot for its intended purpose of attaching bias binding. So again, got my little notch, or pointy bit, shove that through the center so I can find it through the hole at the other end. Okay. The other trick is to pull it so the needle feels really far away from when you start to get it slotted into the attachment. So you end up feeling like you pull it back far. So now I'm going to take our fabric and in the middle, the slot that we haven't used yet, slide that in now that the push everything down, find the edge of the bias, slot our fabric in again, and start to hope for the best because I think We've got all of our layers in our sandwich. Now we're gonna cross our fingers and hope for the best. Stitch careful, slowly, and true. This is how I was gonna say stitch for you, but I mean stitch for me. Alright. The other thing is I'm trying to make sure I leave enough of a tail because this is going to need to be oh, sugar snaps. Oh. I tried to cut my finger off. It does make a pretty good little straw hole though. But I got irritated because the bias tape didn't catch enough. Do I? Yeah, so it's much easier to sew bias strips for ornamentation than it is to use the bias taper for its intended job. So you need to get the fashion fabric slotted in to the middle, but not under the needle so it attaches, but everything turns into like a burrito. Oh. I just need to say and complain about it. Maybe that was the trick. Sometimes you just need to complain about what's going on. Okay, now I see everything lined up. I have adequate so I can, fingers crossed, tie a knot at the end. I know, it's like my computer needs to be up a little bit so I can look at you through my camera and not have to look down to read comments. But, alright. Take next. Fingers crossed. We have the best, most nicely adhered bias tape. I like this, similar to adding the ribbon with the rolled hem. You need both feet and the right hand and the left hand need to be working, but doing different things. It's like playing piano. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Hope the other side looks as good as that side. Of course, the side that's going to be next to me is not nice, but the side for the outside world, beautiful rolled hem. Yes, Ellie, this is the Singer Burrito Foot Attachment, Semenko Part 35986. Hey, Freya Proofers! Oh, well, the part for the outside world, the bias binding, attached beautifully. Have a little bit to be desired on this part that's going to be next to my skin, but that's why we continue to practice. Right. Next up. Okay. Let's see if we can just set this without needing to start over. I pivot a corner and we're so fun. Oh, I haven't eaten in a couple hours. My head is thinking about food again. We already talked about food. I learned the Canadian brand for corn dogs. Oh, Jomi, I need to. Really, I'm not pivoting corners. We were at the side with the rolled hem. I am starting back up at the top. Philly, Philly, Philly. Okay. Oh, that's right. I keep like worrying that something's not quite nice, but it's all gonna get. It's gonna be fine. Here. Oh, Allie, I love that feet, by the way. I have a premium one made by Chris. I'm smooth and highly polished. Yeah, it. I'm a huge fan of these tools. They knew what they were doing when they made feet for the things that were stylish in the day. And I've been reading. What is it? I don't know why I didn't make friends with the rolled or the bias attachment book earlier. Took some while. Oh, The Art of Fashion, 1850 to 1859, from Deb Salisbury. Good read. Lots of pictures, which is nice. But also it teases me because she talks about all this fabric from the magazine, from like that, with the articles. I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I don't think that they have that anymore. No, you want Pogo, Mignonne, Carmel. Oh, Pogo, Pogo to an Americana. Right? You're gonna, Allie, I need you to make this for me. Or send me pictures. Can you post pictures on Flickr? I know, I learned something new. Now I got you all excited. All my Canadian fans are drooling, unless they don't like Pogo. In which case, sorry. You learned something new, and I don't know what we're gonna have. Oh, I think that's not true. Got merit. Oh, what are we having? Got riblet, your little deboned rib section. Am I gonna have something with it? Oh, he was thinking of potato salad. I wanted to make potato salad. Probably gonna reinforce the tip where the top of the triangle of the shoulder strap is supposed to be, so it looks extra nice. And it's extra reinforced. Got quite a load of that point of tension. I need to make sure everything's reinforced and strong there. Interior sound. section, please. All right. Next. Oh. Okay, you right there. I just love every time we do a new project, we learn something different. Try to do a new technique or make something we haven't done before. My brain is still stewing about whether corded. I'm just not going to look at that part where I'm going to need to hand fix it. I'm just not even going to show it up. If I don't talk about how horrible it looks, did it really happen? Just. I unwound it so I can do a little to reinforce it. Let's see. Ooh, okay. A link to Canadian summertime favorite. Let's see what this link has to offer. Oh my god, such a cute box. Those poga. Okay. Now I want corn dogs. Ready in 6 corn dogs in the microwave. 60 seconds. Dinner time? Is it snack time? Oh, it's 9 o'clock out there. My insomniac friends who don't sleep, maybe it's time for another feeding. It's 6 o'clock and I'm thinking it might be time for dinner in a little bit. Okay, not. It's attached and it's like got too much. Alright, we'll do a little hand tacking to. Also, we need to get the strap in. Allie, those look so good. Alright, we attached bias binding. We did a rolled hem. We have another one to do. What can I improve on the next one besides making sure that our stitch line is better? I think instead of starting the bias binding at the top triangle both side times, I'm going to do the second one from the rolled hem and upwards in an attempt to enclose that because it's easier. I always lose some. Oh, maybe I can start both ends from the rolled hem because I lose a little bit of material at the starting, so why not do it where it's already finished and not where it's going to be most fiddly. And that section is not attached. Alright. And this is why I don't sew for other people, because sometimes our stitching is a disaster. But no. Needle up, press her foot down. Thread around. Like, those pogos look so good. I am super excited now. Been a hot minute since I've been over to Ontario. Much more difficult now that I'm playing right away from that side. Okay. Loaded. Oh, they are good. Leclerc here is good too, but they are a smaller producer and hard to get in the US for sure. Not impossible. Yeah. I know, it seems like everything's impossible. No, it's been a. Yeah. I can't remember the last time I ate a corn dog. I don't know. I'm gonna have to make some. Yeah, I also need to feed the sourdough the blob. She needs a little attention. Sometimes I'm so good in the kitchen and other times I just can't be bothered to step foot in there. But I need to because I enjoy cooking. I can't let Duff have all the fun. We were doing laundry and he was wrangling me. He's like, you separate the laundry by cottons and synthetics, and that's great. And then I'm like, I separate my laundry by did I make it or is it not handmade? Because if it's handmade, then it gets washed on the hand wash section. I knew it. I am being distracted and I'm not doing a good job keeping the fashion fabric stuffed deep into the throat of the binding attachment tool. In which case, I don't catch the seam, and now I have to fix it. Oh, don't keep. Oh, God. This looks like a disaster. Am I gonna just hand fix it and not unrip it? Probably. Is that the best practice? I don't know. I was gonna try to go around the corner, but I don't think that's gonna work. So we're just gonna plate everything back through and might just do a 3-hour show tonight before. I don't want to make sure I keep sewing happy. I don't want to get grumpy. I also have to remind myself that you have to not feel guilty if I sit at a sewing machine and don't have the camera on. Wait, did we do that? Started sewing and trying to get everybody when I'm sewing. You don't need an audience. That's more fun that way. Fingers crossed, I don't off it up again. then I need to put it in there. That's wrong. Get grumpy. Disengage oven lighter. What the fuck is going on here? Alright. Screw it. I need a break. Alright. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out while we finished two more garments, got another one started, fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm throwing in the towel, having a snack, and then I'll come back and finish by myself. Something is all wonkied. Thanks for hanging out with me today, Allie. I'm sorry that yesterday I gave you such terrible nightmares for your nap. Don't wait till tomorrow to be fabulous today. Don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself, and I will be back next week, 11 a.m., as we continue in our misadventures in the Singer Instructions for Art Embroidery. I'm pleased with how we're going. We're almost a third of the way through the book, counting all the pictures and the pages that don't have anything on it. So, yeah, then we can read my favorite passages from The Cult of the Needle. We thought the Singer book made us feel bad. Oh, just you hold on to your pins and needles. All right, everybody. Thank you. Be amazing. Bye-bye.